for a long time, I was like really prideful. I'm like, I'm never going to use ads because I'm an SEO person. I need to prove that I can do this, right? But it's just a one piece of the marketing strategy, right? So, and I think to your point too, like if ads go away tomorrow, like and your website's not optimized, your sale, whatever, your sales page isn't optimized, nobody's going to find you.
Joining me today is Maggie Schneider, a digital marketing enthusiast with a passion for SEO. Maggie is amazing at helping small businesses climb the search engine ranks. She lights up when she sees small businesses gain visibility online, knowing her SEO magic played a part in their success. Her services include SEO audits, website optimization with strategic design, and content repurposing. When she's not immersed in analytics and keyword research, you'll find her hanging out with her 3 kids and husband, dancing to Taylor Swift or gospel music, and taking long walks in nature. Today is all about building visibility that lasts using SEO and content repurposing to make sure the work you do today keeps paying off for years to come. So stay tuned. Hey there, it's Michelle, and today Maggie Schneider is joining me. Welcome to the show, Maggie.
Thanks so much for having me, Michelle. I'm excited
Well,
to talk all things SEO.
I know, I'm so excited. So we recently just met. And we hit it off from the start because we're in a networking group together. And I'm like, okay, let's have a coffee chat. And we hit it from the start. And I was like, you have to come on and spill the beans on SEO. Because I always find it to be such a mystery. I don't know why. It's not that difficult, is it?
A lot of people do. Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like everyone tells you you need to focus on it as a business owner. But then once you're like, at a certain level of business, it's like, I just want to hire it out and not think about it. But it really is so important. It should be a big part of your marketing strategy if it's not already.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the 1% effect is all about tiny shifts that create this big momentum. So, looking back, what is one early move or habit that you feel created this ripple effect in your personal growth? Like basically your journey of what got you here and what was that one thing that got you that massive growth that you're in right now?
Okay, honestly, well, it's kind of two parts. So asking, I guess meeting people, like networking, like you said, and that's actually like an SEO strategy. We can talk about that later. But yeah, networking just to like expand your audience, get to know people. Like I have a huge network of, web designer friends, copywriter friends, like all of us are offering services that are, compatible with each other that business owners need. And you can just rely on people. They send me referrals. I send them referrals. So that's probably the biggest thing. And it's like what we did. We just all it takes is like a little coffee chat to get to know somebody on a deeper level than just, liking a post on Instagram or something. Um, and then from there, just literally asking for what you need. Like, do you need a testimonial? Do you need a referral? Do you need just someone to come and speak at an event? Whatever it is. I think just being comfortable asking for what you need.
I love it. So, what got you into SEO?
Okay, it's not really a great story. It's I was actually working in healthcare, so I was a registered nurse for 8 years before starting my business. And like everyone during the pandemic, I just wanted something different. I was working in the hospital night shift. I had one son at home, and I was pregnant with my second, which is my daughter. And I just said, I want something that's more flexible. I can work from home. I started doing virtual assistant work because I had never done like online business or marketing or anything of the sort. And yeah, I just kind of fell in love with SEO and blogging and web design, all of that encompass all that goes under that kind of umbrella, because I saw my clients like getting results just from like one blog post. Like they were getting found on Google now, and they were able to like nurture their audience in a different way. So yeah, I just fell in love with it, started watching all the YouTube videos, taking classes, taking trainings and just kind of blew up from there. I realized how much business owners really value it and need it.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's funny to me because when I was starting out, I was in the mortgage business. That's the only thing I've ever done because my mom had I had a mortgage company, and so from high school, like actually during school, I was never allowed to go like to the beach with my friends or to the mall. I always had to come and work. So I really grew up in the mortgage business. So I spent this 30-year career. And I remember when I got into this, I was like, do like create a course or create a product, an offer, based on what you know. And I'm like, I know mortgages and I don't want to do that. Like,
Right.
right. And I never, like, it was so hard for me to kind of figure out how to make that shift. And I feel like with you, it's kind of like, you go from nurse to SEO. So it's so kind of cool how you can think out, like for me, once I got outside that little box that I was standing in and see beyond that, it's like, oh, there are other things that you can kind of make it yourself and go
Yeah,
from one to the next, you know? I
exactly.
think a lot of people get stuck in that.
Yeah, I feel like most business owners are like lifetime learners too.
Yes.
So it's like it was fun for me to like take the time and watch those videos in the middle of the night when I'm like
Right?
breastfeeding a baby or whatever. So yeah, I'm with you there. I just feel like yeah, like I didn't want to like make a course about like my nursing experience. I wanted to
Right?
just do something different and like help business owners. I still feel like I'm helping just in a different way.
Exactly. So it's like even if you don't have the skill, you can make it happen because it is kind
Absolutely.
of fun. I mean, I personally think all this stuff is fun. Some people it's not their jam. And they're like, you're getting so excited about, looking at numbers. Why? They don't
Well, it
get
makes
it.
sense if you were looking at numbers as a mortgage person.
Exactly. So it's just kind of like all in the flow. Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we're talking about like long-term visibility with SEO and content repurposing. So as you know, like a lot of, coaches and course creators, they're creating content all the time and they're relying on social media. But those posts disappear so quickly. So
hmm
how can SEO help them build this visibility that actually will compound over time?
Yeah. So what a lot of people miss about SEO is like they're like, oh, it takes so much time. It's a big heavy lift up front, right? But if you're going to be in business for, 3, 5, 10, 20, hopefully 50 years, it's worth it to put that effort in now. With SEO, it's you can, write a blog post or update a page on your website so that it is more searchable. And now we're, getting found on through AI tools like ChatGPT too. Um, so it's one of those ways where it's like that little bit of effort now will pay off for years to come. I have blog posts that I wrote 3 years ago that are still like getting organic traffic. I'm not paying for ads for those or anything like that. So it is, yeah, just one of those tools that can make marketing a little bit easier and hopefully help you work smarter, not harder, because most people didn't go into business to like be a marketer. I mean, unless that is your job, but obviously you need marketing to have a successful business to like get those leads in and nurture them and get them, converting into paying customers. So yeah, I think SEO is just a great foundational tool for that. And like you said, with the content repurposing, it just makes your marketing so much easier. And we can get into how I like doing that too.
Yeah, I was just gonna that was gonna be my next question. Like, how would we do that? Because like I know like repurposing, everybody says, okay, you take this one big piece of content and then divide it into little pieces of
Mhm.
content. So I think that I know I've been guilty of it. I'm probably still guilty of it, where it's like, okay, I do that. And then what? Right? I'm
Right.
still putting it maybe on the same social platform, but maybe not putting it on others because I've also been told to focus on one platform at a
Yeah.
time.
hmm
Okay.
hmm
So can you like bust that, like debunk that myth or whatever that phrase is?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think that, I mean, if I'm doing it, I know other people are doing that too.
100%. Yeah. And it's like when you're a solopreneur and you only have so much time, right? Like, yes, focus on one platform. But interestingly enough, Neil Patel, who's really big in like the marketing SEO world, I'm sure you've heard of him.
Mhm.
He did a study not too long ago where he evaluated something like 100,000 businesses, and the ones who were showing up on 6 or more platforms were actually getting a much higher return on their investment with their marketing spend. So, the ones that were sending an email, putting up a blog, putting up a podcast episode, putting up a YouTube video, putting up an Instagram post, whatever the sixth one wants to be. Those were the businesses that were that's kind of the peak number of platforms to repurpose your content on. And obviously, you have to kind of use your best judgment, do some market research, and really figure out where your audience is so that you're not, wasting time on LinkedIn if your clients aren't going to find you there. But yeah, repurposing content is definitely something I recommend. And like for this podcast, for example, like you'll probably share it for the next week and then maybe you'll never share it again. I don't recommend that, but it's nice to like at least have that bank of content for those moments where you're like, oh, like I don't know what to talk about this week, but I don't want to just like ghost my audience. Let me go back into the archives and see like, oh, this episode performed really well in the past. Let me see if I can like put a new spin on it or share a more recent story related to the topic or whatever that looks like. And of course, you're a big numbers girl. So looking at your analytics and seeing like, oh, this blog post performed really well in the past. How can I kind of expand on this idea more and write a new blog post or, appeal to a different, slightly different audience or a different, stop on their customer journey, whatever that looks like. Yeah, so I'm big on content repurposing. There's obviously all the like AI tools now make it a little bit easier for you to do that. But yeah, if you're just kind of a newer business owner and you're not fully ready to do that, definitely focus on just one or two platforms. If you have a VA or someone that can help you with that, definitely I would aim for like five or six platforms if you can.
Oh, I love that. So when we're talking about the SEO search, like to have your content SEO search, then
Mhm.
with the content repurposing, I'm like thinking as I'm talking because I'm trying to like put it all together. So we're talking like it would be searchable.
Mhm.
Well, are we being searchable on Instagram or are we being searchable on like the YouTube, Pinterest, things like that?
Yeah, well now like lately, I think Instagram changed their algorithm where your videos and stuff can be found on Google. I would say that shouldn't be like your main platform, but
Mhm.
yeah, like I said, you have to kind of meet your audience where they are. But yeah, if you definitely blog, the main ones that can be found on Google are like the blogs, the podcasts, and the YouTube videos. Those are like long form content. They're evergreen. They will always be there. The algorithms don't affect it the same way like Instagram or Facebook posts do. So yeah.
I love it. Okay. So have you ever used like a webinar as you're shaking your head? Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
more about that because a lot of times we do the webinars, we have a lot of um like the rate for people to show up it seems to be getting smaller, right?
Hmm.
So I'm
Hmm.
curious to see like how can we use the time and effort and all that we're and you already mentioned podcasts or maybe even some other workshops or trainings that you're like, "Oh my gosh, I got such a great feedback or people are getting great results for this." So
Yeah.
tell me more of what you think the smart way to repurpose that.
Oh gosh, so many ways. I mean, definitely if you can make it like an evergreen type of thing where you can just kind of promote it in cycles, once a quarter, once every 6 months, whatever you want that to look like. But it's like I said, a great market research tool because you can get the feedback from your audience. Okay, like this answered this question, but now I want to learn more about this, which is kind of related, but like wouldn't fit in that webinar necessarily, right? So kind of just it helps you build out that funnel even more again, so you can serve your audience in a greater capacity. Um, I'm really big on to just re-promoting it. I have an SEO challenge that did so well like 2 years ago, and I'm still promoting it. I have ads running to it. It's great.
I love that. I love, and that is true. Like I was sitting here thinking, like, when I go into clients' accounts and I'm like, okay, like, let's say we're moving into Optima funnels, right? They're getting out of like a Kajabi kind of thing, and they're
Mhm.
like, okay, I want to create now these funnel systems, and then they're like, I'm like, hey, what about this one? Oh, well, I haven't done that. I'm like, well, how good did it do? I'm always super curious because I'm like,
Yeah.
bring it back. Why are you creating something brand new, right? And how
Yeah.
long is that going to take you to then get up and launched when maybe
Mhm.
all you have to do is update it to like maybe what's working now or what's going on in the environment. So I love that.
Exactly. Yeah, tweak it a little bit, see if there's like a different way to promote it too. Like when I first launched my SEO challenge, it's not really a webinar, but we could call it that. I was promoting it only on Instagram and I only have a couple thousand people in my audience. So then I started saying, how can I like make blog content that is going to funnel into this a little bit more? So now people are finding those blogs that are related to the topic and they want to dive deeper, I already know they're interested in the topic because they searched it and found it on Google, then they're more willing to kind of opt in and sign up for that challenge.
So smart, so smart. Okay, so for someone who doesn't have a huge team, Okay. Maybe they're just a solopreneur. What are the first SEO basics that they should focus on to start driving consistent, like that long-term traffic?
Yeah, so the first thing I always see, I do a lot of website audits, and I see a lot of business owners don't even have Google Analytics or Search Console hooked up to their website. So, what people miss about that is like once you connect those tools to your website, then it starts collecting data. So if you don't have it connected, you can't go back in the past and look at that data. So even if you have no plans on focusing on SEO in the next 2, 5, 10 years, whatever, hook it up so that you can get that data. You can go back and look and see, hey, like what pages are performing well? What are my biggest traffic drivers to my website? Maybe it's not Google, maybe it's like referrals from some other business owner, and like how can you kind of tap in? I just feel like you're a data person too. So like if you don't have the data, then it's hard to make those decisions. You're just kind of guessing and going on a whim with like, oh, I'm just going to keep posting on Instagram because that's what everyone else is doing. But
Mhm.
if you're spending 2 hours a week on Instagram and it's not converting into either clicks to your website, obviously sales is the most important thing, then it could be something that you want to consider switching your strategy about. Yeah, does that answer your question? Yeah,
Yes, it totally does.
graphic.
So it's let me actually make myself a note so I don't forget. So a couple of things it spurred off for me. So can you explain the difference between Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager?
Yeah, so Google Tag Manager is that's the more advanced version that I would say like most businesses should have as well. With that, you can just see, once that's set up, you can use different templates to see more data, like how long people are spending on your website, how deep they're scrolling on a particular page, which buttons they're clicking on. Because I know you looked at one of my sales pages the other day, for example, and you were like, this button should change, right? Like change the call to action, whatever it was there. It's just those little tiny changes that if you don't have the data on it, you don't know, and you're just kind of guessing, like I said. So, if you see someone's only scrolling to like the second section, well, how can we make those first two sections more engaging and more, eye-catching that they encourage people to scroll more? So, yeah, Google Tag Manager, once you have that set up, and it's like a little bit more versatile, like you can hook it up to Go High Level or all of your different funnel systems, and it kind of all coagulates everything into one nice little package for you.
Because I always thought that because I always, well, this is when I understood, and now I'm like, oh, maybe I've been thinking wrong this whole time. So I thought that Google Analytics was more if you had like just one platform. So let's just say you were using like a Kajabi where it was like everything and you were not using any other tools. And then I
Mhm.
thought Google Tag Manager was if you had like your funnels in one place, your email, something like that, where it connected all the tools. I didn't realize that it actually goes down through the page and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's really good that
Yeah,
you,
you have to set it up that way. It's not like just
okay,
automatically doing that. So that is something you
that's
might want
amazing.
to like hire
Yeah,
an
because
expert for.
in my mind I'm like, because to do that, I have always gotten that tool like called Hotjar. I don't know if you've ever used
Yes.
it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And most of my clients like will put it on, we'll put, and it's just Pixel, right? And you put it
Hmm.
on for like a month or so just to see what everybody's doing, and then you can make decisions. Where I'm like, maybe you don't have to pay for a tool like that
Yeah.
if you have Google Tag Manager set up because that's free, right?
Right. Hmm.
So, that's the thing that I always look at is profitability. Like, yes, if that tool is going to make you money in the big picture, however, if you have it all set up, period, then it's like over everything that you're doing, whether it
Hmm.
be your website or your funnels. Okay, good to know, good to know. Then I
But you
have
are
a
right. It
question.
does a good job connecting those funnels. Like you can connect it
Yes,
to your Pinterest account, like wherever you want to run ads. Yeah, definitely.
I love that. Okay. So you talked about doing your SEO on your website and things like that. My
Hmm.
question is on your funnels. Okay. Usually there's like a little SEO section and then there's some things to put keywords or content, like a description. So do you do that the same way you would do a website?
Yeah, very similar. So, I mean, I think people get a little hung up on like the back end, like tech side of things. Like, I know SEO is very techy, but at the end of the day, you want to just be speaking to your ideal client. Like, who is going to resonate with the content on that page, on that funnel page, on that landing page, whatever it is. That's going to be because you want to be typing, the words on the page like how they're searching it. That's how you're going to make it searchable. A lot of times too, I see like landing pages where they don't have like a lot, like enough content. So it's just not even enough context, even if you have the keywords in the back end and everything. It's just not enough context for Google to say like, oh, this is how I'm going to categorize this, and this is for this person searching this keyword, right? So yeah, just like adding a little bit more in-depth information, obviously not enough to overwhelm somebody, but
Mm-hmm.
enough to tell Google and tell your ideal client like what exactly this is. Because I've stumbled upon so many pages where it's like, okay, this is a webinar about marketing, but like, what's the takeaway? Like, why should I spend my time on this? Give me the why, give me the transformation I'm going to get, all of those things.
Okay, that's good to know because I think that could be something that could be tweaked on my end. Maybe you can even come in
Yeah, give
to
me a call.
Optima Funnels and we'll talk about like how do we make that happen. That's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we you talked about how you do run ads even though you also do SEO because I feel like SEO could be like that I don't want to say a slow burn, but like
Yeah,
more time for it to ramp up if that's the only thing that you're counting on for the traffic, right? So
definitely.
how are you balancing like those short-term wins with the long-term visibility so your business isn't just relying on that quick fix, right? Or like if Facebook ads goes away tomorrow, right? I
Right.
mean, there should always be something in the works. However, like you don't want to kick yourself a year from now when you could have been building up on this whole entire time.
Yeah, 100%. I think, I know for a long time I was like really prideful. I'm like, I'm never going to use ads because I'm an SEO person. I need to prove that I can do this, right? But it's just a one piece of the marketing strategy, right? So, and I think to your point too, like if ads go away tomorrow, like, and your website's not optimized, your sale, whatever, your sales page isn't optimized, nobody's going to find you without those ads. So, and the good, I mean, kind of the interesting thing with ads too is that, if you say you put a new blog post out, you want to drive traffic to those new pages on your website as soon as possible because that's telling Google, oh, like this is a new page, but it already got 100 clicks or whatever, 100 visits. Um, let's prioritize that now in the algorithm or whatever and put that out to more people when they search XYZ. So just that kind of influx of traffic is really helpful for people, or for Google as well to kind of prioritize your content in the mix of all the content out there.
Yeah, so I love that because you're like basically boosting you're giving
Hmm.
you're giving the SEO a little push by driving that traffic. And I haven't been doing ads in quite some time. However,
Hmm.
I do know that when you run like a traffic campaign, meaning that
Hmm.
the objective is basically for someone to click and land on the page, that is minimal cost. It's usually like 50, 60 cents, definitely less than a dollar that you are pushing that then will help Google like push you up, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So that is awesome. So
Yeah.
let's talk about being strategic with
Hmm.
these blogs or with these posts. It's like, okay, fine. Now you have people search and they find you. And then what do you
Then what?
recommend to,
Yeah.
right? Okay, great. So they read your article and then, okay, bye. Right. So
Yeah.
it's like, what do you have on there?
Yeah. So, I mean, every blog post is going to have a different purpose. Some of them might just be to educate your audience, but some of them should be to kind of nurture them, paint the picture of like what it's like to work with you. Some of them you might have a lead magnet attached to it so they can join your email list and then enter, that kind of email workflow where you're nurturing and maybe trying to sell them on something kind of low ticket. There's so many things you can add pop-ups to your blog posts. I always like seeing like the sidebars on the website because if I'm on a blog post about keyword research, but then I want to learn about keywords on Pinterest or something, and I see that on the little sidebar, I'm like, I'm gonna click that. Like, I already liked the style of writing on this page or this person's perspective. So let me keep reading and read more. Yeah, so like I said, it kind of depends on what the purpose of the blog post is, but you should always be thinking about, yeah, the customer journey. Like what is the intended action? I see so many blog posts that don't even have like a call to action. Like, do you want them to book with you? Do you want them to sign up for your email list? Do you want them to join this free training? Whatever it is, just have something to do. Don't I'm a big fan of no dead ends on a website. So whatever that is, I see two people will have like opt-in pages and then it's like, all right, thanks for submitting. Go check your email now. No, you just got them to your website. Keep them on. How can you send them to another resource that's related or have them go check out your service page or learn more about you? Like it can be simple. It's just you do have to kind of think big picture and think like where is the logical next step of where this person's going to go.
I love that you said that because that's one of the things that when you're looking at your website, right, is like how long are they staying?
Hmm.
What pages are they visiting? So with that data, you're like, oh, everybody's checking out this blog or everybody goes to whatever page. So with that data, then you can make the decisions of where to send them next. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of times we're, especially with me per se, it's like I didn't even think anybody was looking at my website. And then I met with a couple people that are like, oh, so we checked your website. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I told my team, we need to go in there
Oh
and make
no.
sure it at least says, because sometimes I'm like, no, they're going to my funnels or they're only seeing me on Instagram or wherever. However, when people want to work with you, they are going to be there to put their detective's hat on and say like, is this girl legit? Like
Yeah.
who has she worked with? What does her work look like? I want to learn more about her. And that is a perfect place for them to stay on with you because there's no distractions. There's nothing else
Mhm.
coming behind you on social media. Even on YouTube, that's why even on funnel pages, I don't like to put YouTube videos on because what happens
Mhm.
when the video is done? It gives you other recommendations, or when you're on or you send them to actual YouTube, then you got your
Oh yeah.
competitors on the right, and it just kills me because I'm like, no, 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 like
Especially with
not,
YouTube, yeah, your
yeah. I'm
competitors
like,
show up.
and then I'm like, am I coming from a place of lack? And I'm like, no, I am coming from like doing smart, effective use of your marketing dollars or
Mhm.
efforts because you don't want to lose them. So when they're
Yeah.
on your website, it's like, that's such a good point. Like, how can you keep them there? What else do they need to know? You know? Um,
Mhm.
that is so amazing. I never even thought of it that way, but now that you say that, so instead of maybe you direct them back to that, okay, that was so good. What other cool
Yeah.
tips do you have for us to kind of get us kick started?
Ooh, okay. So yeah, the analytics one is the biggest thing. I'm trying to think of what I see the most in website audits too. Um, I think people just don't do the keyword research. And I know it's like one of those things that is so like hard. And it's like I say, it's an art, it's not a science. Like there's no like perfect magic keyword for your particular business. But just like I said this recently on another podcast, is like I have just a note, a Google Doc where it's like these are frequently asked questions that I get in my inbox, on a regular basis. If people are asking the same question like two, three times, I'm like, okay, there's something here that like I can educate my audience on, or maybe I can make a training on, or even just a quick reel on. Just keeping that kind of market research always in the back of your mind. Like I think too, a lot of businesses they kind of, if they do market research at all when they start, they do it once and then they just like never think about it again. But like we were talking about earlier, like the customer is always changing, and you have to just kind of think about what they need as they are evolving. I think I was listening to like Amy Porterfield's podcast not too long ago, and she's kind of gone through this like pivot, it seems, where she originally was like mostly speaking to brand new business owners or people that wanted to start a business, and now she's kind of after however long she's been in this business evolving into like, oh, I actually should speak more to these like business owners that have been in business for 5, 10 years and have these million-dollar businesses, because that's such a missed opportunity for her. So yeah, um, just getting the keyword research and just the market research, kind of always keeping that in the back of your head. With the keyword research too, I was gonna start saying that it's like you might have, and I see this a lot with my work with healthcare professionals, is like they have the terms in their head, like the medical terms that they know and they're experts in their field, but the average person who is new to this or like is just looking like just starting their search for answers to their problem, they might not be searching those medical terms because they don't know yet. So like what are the symptoms or what are the underlying issues that they're kind of going to be Googling, and how can you incorporate that into your content a little bit more?
I love that. That was so good. And just real quick, going back to what you were saying about Amy, is that is one of the things that I find, and I've been talking to even some of my friends that have been in business for a while. I'm like, wait a minute. So the people who finish with you, you have nothing else for them to go with? Because if you think about Amy, all of us that started and we were starting out listening to her, we all now have grown. right?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing that comes in. Where it's like, okay, how can you increase that customer lifetime value? Like, how can they stay on their journey with you as their guide, right? So, that market research I always find is critical because now you're identifying the new problem that they have,
Mhm.
and now how can you be the solution for that? Because most likely you are qualified to do that next thing,
Right.
and then now they are staying with you, so your revenue continues to go rather than coming out and finding brand new people. You
Hmm.
still need to have new people coming in, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and they
So,
already trust you, they already like you, they've
yeah,
bought from you before, so it's just kind of nurturing them even more.
exactly. And I have a client of ours that in Optima Funnels that was on there, and she did like her 6 week thing, and then she was like, I'm not sure I want to ask them to join me in the next thing. I'm like, why not? You've been
Mhm.
telling me how much they love it. Like, I feel like it's that old saying, like it's a disservice, or it's like then they're kind of left to be like, wandering, or who am I gonna now try to find next to help me? And they trust you so much. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that's so good. Okay.
That's
So I love all that. Now, is there anything that you want to share that maybe I didn't ask you that you think is super important?
I mean, we can go so in depth. There's so many different SEO tools and even platforms, and I hope that people, especially like the newer business owner, doesn't get like too bogged down and like, should I pay for this platform? Should I pay for this tool? There's so much you can do for free and just like baby steps, baby steps. People always ask too, like, how long does SEO take? And you'll see most like marketing companies like mine will say, oh, like 6 to 12 months. Like you got to start now in 6 to 12 months. Maybe you'll get a couple clients from it. But that's like not fully true. I've been experiencing with or experimenting with some of my clients like a really aggressive repurposing strategy. And with that, I mean, we have gotten like from zero website traffic to multiple thousands in less than 3 months.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so there's ways to do it if you're willing to invest the time and the resources into it. And if that's a priority for you, if I have a lot of clients that are paying like thousands of dollars a month on ads, and I'm like, okay, but if you stop paying for those for a little bit, put that money towards SEO, like that's gonna pay off and grow over time. You can always pay for ads later, but if they're not converting now anyway, that says that something's wrong with your website. So it's worth kind of taking a deeper look at that and fixing that so that your money is well spent.
Hmm. And I do, it is the true, there's truth in slow down to speed up. And I
Yeah.
feel like that is a perfect example. And honestly, as you grow, and like how people tell you, don't be perfect, just go out and just do it, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I believe in that. And I also feel like you still have to go back and fill in the gaps that you kind of skipped over to get it out there. And I feel
Right.
that people don't do that. So they
Yeah.
just keep going on this, and then now this is not really built in a sustainable way, right?
Hmm.
Because you don't have either systems in place, you don't have the strategy fully built out in order to get that. So when you're saying, okay, it's going to fully take 6, 12 months, if we're not using, like an agency like you and like honing in on it, then it's going to take you 6 or 12 months longer when you could have
Hmm.
just gone back and do that. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even to that point too, it's like the blog post that you write today, it's not like set in stone. You can go back and edit it. Like look at give it a month or two, see how it's performing, see like what keywords are people are searching to land on that page and like go back and see how can I incorporate that into the content a little bit more so that I can get higher in the search results or get more clicks or there yeah, it's just the whole thing of like you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. You can take what you have, take what's working, improve upon it, just like with your funnels. Like you're not just scrapping a funnel just because your sales are not where you want them to be. Like you're reiterating it, tweaking it. Maybe it's just changing a button color. Maybe it's adding another line or two of text. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah, a little things. And even just going back to your blogs right now and saying,
Hmm.
do I have a call to action that's
Yeah.
going to get them to build my list, or something on there that would get them, that they're there on purpose? Like everything is intentional, everything is on purpose. It's not just because we're all in this to make money, right? We're not doing this, just for fun.
Hmm.
Okay, so if our listeners applied this 1% effect to visibility, just one small action today that would compound into that extraordinary results over time, what would you tell them to do?
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Let's start with take one piece of content and just look at the data. Like I said, look at how it's performing. How can you make it better? How can you repurpose it onto your other platforms, drive more traffic there? Like I said, just like you just said, add the call to action. Just little tweaks, work on one page a week, that's all it takes. And like you're gonna see tremendous value just from that little bit.
Okay, and before we get into Michelle's hot minute, where, what do you recommend or what do you have where they can connect with you to learn more about how to come up with keywords or the keyword research and what keywords they need for their business?
Yeah, so two things. I have a free checklist. It's been downloaded like almost 1,000 times at this point. My little audience, which is great. It is just step by step, like a quick checklist of like, do I have all of the things in place on my website to even make it searchable for Google? So that is a free option. And then I did mention the SEO challenge before, which that is all about simple keyword research, no paid tools. You can do it in 5 minutes or less per day. And it's a 5-day challenge. So by the end of it, you'll have optimized one page to tell you exactly how to find the keywords and where to put them on your website. That one is $17. So people keep telling me to raise the price. So get on it while it's,
Get it
while
now
it's still
before they raise the
17
price.
bucks.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the show notes. Okay, so
Yeah.
everybody can grab it and do it because I know it's like I feel like SEO for me anyway is like I know what it is, I think, but then I know
Hmm.
there's more to it that I don't know. And I really need to explore more because it's just one of these things that you just said, like there's certain things that you can do for free,
Hmm.
if you're doing on your own. I always suggest to hire the professional to help you do that because it just saves you so much more time and energy and you're like thinking you know what you're doing, but then you're like, oh crap, I missed this, that, and the other,
Right.
if I
Right.
would have had an expert guide me. So I will drop your links in the show notes. Okay. So let's go into Michelle's hot minute. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions, super, like not too personal, but not businessy. Okay. So whatever
Okay.
the first thing comes to mind. Okay.
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 Sounds good.
So coffee or tea?
Coffee, 100%.
Okay.
But
Do
I'm a
you
half calf person.
half calf? I know. I
Yeah.
found that
I get
I
anxiety.
cleaned out my kitchen the other day, and so we had like Cuban coffee. I don't know if you ever had that. It's like
Hmm.
espresso. So we had two of the packages. It must have been from my mother-in-law, but one is decaffeinated. So I told my husband, "Who would drink the decaffeinated? I feel like you drink the espresso to get like everybody needs like that energy." That's funny. I guess some people like the taste.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you more of a batch content person or in the flow to create as you go?
Ooh, it depends what platform. I would say batching, just because, yeah, I'm a big repurposer. So once I have like one idea, I'm like, let me tweak it for this channel and this channel. Yeah.
What is the best business book you've read that you would recommend?
Oh gosh, it's not exactly business, but Atomic Habits. I know that's like one of those self-help books that everyone reads, but it's just so like that. It's just like the point of this podcast, like that 1% shift, that 1% different every day. It's gonna pay off in the long run. And just if you're not where you want to be, you can change it.
I love it. Okay. What's your guilty pleasure?
Ooh, I'm really into like documentaries right now on Netflix, just like all the sports ones I've watched with my husband.
Like the
I'm watching like the
Untold?
Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders one
Yes.
right now.
Do you watch the Untold? Like their sports? Aren't they
Yes,
good? Their
yes.
show. I'm into that. And my daughter's like, why do you like them? I'm like, well, I like them because it's curious. I also am so inspired by the athletes.
Yes.
And like, this is why they're the best of the best. It's like
Hmm.
when you were just talking about their habits, it's like, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Like, all of them think that they are the best and they are
Hmm.
going to beat everybody, no doubt.
It's
They
such a
never doubt
mindset
themselves
thing.
that they're going to go in
Yes.
and lose this game,
Yes. And
right?
it's like they're basically business owners too. They have the same
Yes,
kind of mindset of like there's no other option but to succeed.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exact 100. And I just watch it and I'm just like in awe. I'm like, what can I take from this guy? I don't even know this
Yeah.
guy's name, but I just love the way that he thinks, he talks and, whatever. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Oh, the
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers one like blew my mind. He's a little cuckoo sometimes about some things, but like I'm like, wow, he is like really a smart dude and like people love him.
Yes, yes. And it's just, I don't know, it's all just amazing to me. Did you watch the one with the USA team where
No.
the basketball? You have to watch
No. Oh
that.
no, that's on my list.
It's so good. Like I think I watched both of them. There was one on the Dream Team, like back from whenever when they
hmm
first allowed professionals, and then they had one. Um, Maybe it was the same one. I didn't think it was the same one. And then it was like Kobe Bryant was in there, and then just like that, I was just. I mean, I'm just inspired and in awe of these athletes. It's like amazing to me.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, we totally got sidetracked on our 1 minute.
Not really a
Okay.
minute.
What is your favorite way to distress?
Can I say eat?
Yes, you can say whatever is your
Just
favorite.
like, at the end of the day when the kids are in bed, I just want to watch my show and have a little snacky uninterrupted.
I love
That's
it.
not a good one.
Oh my
Walking. I go on a lot of walks too.
God.
That's a
This was
healthier
so
version.
much fun. I appreciate you, Maggie, for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much. This was so fun.
Where can people find you?
Okay, so I'm most active on Instagram, even though I just talked a lot of crap about it. I'm at Hilltop Help, HILLTOP help dot or help, that's my thing. And then hilltophelp.com is my website where I have all the resources we talked about, my blog, all of that.
Oh my gosh. So good. So good. Well, thank you once again.
Thank you.
And there you have it, long-term visibility with SEO and content repurposing with Maggie Schneider. Definitely go check her out. I'm going to drop all the things in the show notes below. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Keep leaning into those tiny tweaks and stacking those 1% wins that add up to those extraordinary results. Until next time, let's grow your business together.